To this Belly Up Media production. Some said we'd go belly up, so we made it our name. And we're still here.
The following announcement has been paid for by the Full Forward Addict Podcast.
And welcome to episode 25 of the Wrestling Addicts. I'm Matt. This is Sal. How's everybody doing?
Going good. Not the best episode of Raw, but some good things came out of it, and some maybe questionable things came out of it too. But we'll see. We'll talk about it.
You know what? Let's just jump right in to it. What like, and like, you know what? It didn't feel like a road to WrestleMania type of Raw. You know, it kind of felt like something was missing.
It kind of felt like a Raw saying, okay, tune in next week.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a filler episode. Like, okay, we're not going to give you much this week, but next week, tune in next week because we got a lot. So that's what it kind of felt like this week to me.
I agree. It wasn't really memorable. And it's almost like you wasted Brock on this.
Well, that's the talk of the wrestling world right now.
So let's get into it. Let's get right into it. Like we said it last week. Well, I said it last week. I was like, I hope this is a swerve. I don't see how Brock Lesnar and Omos, is a WrestleMania type match, especially for Brock. He was in the main event last year in a title unification match, and now Omos?
Yeah, it's. I have no interest in it. I tweeted this out earlier. I have no interest in it, but I kind of understand where they're going with it. It's it's a spectacle match. It's for the visual of Brock F5ing Omos and maybe giving him a few German suplexes and stuff like that. The stare down will probably get a nice reaction. It's stuff like that. But this doesn't have my interest, and it sounds like Vince's fingerprints were on this, and it's not surprising because Brock and Vince have a good relationship. So
I think that's what the rumor was, that or the news broke that it was Vince's idea for this match. And you know what? I guess Brock is a Vince guy. When Vince retired, you remember Brock walked out and everybody was, whoa, you know what? Is this real? Is it a shoot? It was legit. Brock, he left for a few hours, came back because he was on the show that night, but still, he's a Vince guy, and Vince knows how to sell it, and he probably sold it to Brock, and Brock was like, all right, whatever. But like for the fan, you could have did another. I'd rather see Bobby Lashley again than this.
You know what? I didn't want to see a fourth Bobby Lashley match with them. Even if they had a stipulation to it, it just kind of I was just done with it. I was didn't want to see another one. It just, I guess,
What?
like, I don't know where they should have went with Brock. They should have did Gunther, but obviously you know, they're planning something bigger, I think, for that. I think they would give them more time to build that match than just give them a month to build it or something like that. I think that'll be a centerpiece match. That'll be a main event match on another pay-per-view. On a WrestleMania, especially with the matches they already have, it probably wouldn't be the main event. So I get them not doing it this time, but I don't know. I have no interest in Bray Wyatt and Bobby Lashley either. Bray Wyatt's a whole different story. They have lost me with that. I was so excited when Bray came back at Extreme Rules. I thought, oh, we're gonna get the old Bray Wyatt back with the Wyatt family, and then, it's the Firefly Funhouse has come back, and the Muscle Man Bray video on Raw. I thought that was the cringiest thing. I just didn't like it at all. It's just not for me.
Few things that you said I want to touch on. I get why you don't want to see Brock and Bobby again, but then what was the point of that finish at Elimination Chamber? What was the point of even having that match? Like, it didn't make sense if it was going to end in a low blow and then that's it. So you're telling me the way the match ended, Brock in the Hurt Lock, potentially about to lose because no one really breaks out of the Hurt Lock. Low blow, so he doesn't lose. So he's ducking Bobby is the way that I see that outcome. Is that Brock is, in a way, he's sweating. Bobby Lashley doesn't want to deal with him again. So he takes a challenge from Omos, who's bigger than, like, it just, I get it, it's wrestling or whatever, but I'm just looking for where the story makes sense, and Brock and Omos doesn't make sense, and Bobby and Bray does not make sense either. I'm not intrigued at all by that match. Like, these are two matches that don't scream WrestleMania to me. Like, these aren't WrestleMania type matches. This is like, save this for a month. Do this shit in Saudi. Like, have this at the King of the Ring, Queen of the Ring pay-per-view. Like do it there. Like, WrestleMania? Come on.
I agree. I mean, I also look at it like this. Not every match on the card is going to be good. There's going to be some matches where it's just like, oh, God, okay, all right. At least we have the rest of the card. And really, the rest of the card is filled with great wrestling matches. I mean, they haven't even announced some. So you're going to have a clunker in there every now and then.
But why is your clunker Brock Lesnar? Your Brock Lesnar should not be your clunker match.
I know.
That shouldn't be.
At the same time, though, he does have, like, Brock's not having 20-minute matches anymore. When's the last time Brock had a 20-minute match? So I guess they figure out, let him go in there for 3-4 minutes, do some big stuff, German suplex, F5, some visually impressive stuff. I mean, that's what Brock does anyway. I mean, that's what the Lashley matches were. He just went in there, Lashley speared him a few times, Brock German suplex, F5, Hurt Lock. So, I don't know. Maybe Brock X to work with Omos. I mean, he has a lot of say in what he does and who he works with. So maybe, I don't know, maybe Vince went to him and said, hey, work with Omos, pal. And he said, all right, I'll do it.
I need to know how that conversation went down. Where Brock is willing. And listen, I'm not fully knocking Omos. I get it. He's an attraction. He's 7'3". He's humongous. But how many like when are they going to learn that these guys can't move, and it's not going to be as good as you think it's going to be.
Yeah.
Giant Gonzalez,
Oh,
Great Khali, like,
yeah.
come on,
Yeah.
they can't even bend down the right
I
way.
know.
They're not built for that. They're too
No.
tall. They're too lanky, and it's
I'll
not.
I'll give Omos this, when he faced Braun in Saudi. Everybody thought that match was gonna be atrocious. And it actually wasn't all that bad.
Yeah.
I remember watching it and saying, it wasn't terrible. I've seen worse. So maybe Brock can pull a reasonable, 3 to 5 minute match out of him or something like that. We'll see. And who knows? Maybe there's an aftermath afterwards. Maybe the Hurt Business finally reunite or
Yeah.
something like that. Or, who knows? Or maybe there's a big spot in the match where, I don't know, maybe they both go up to the top and they have a Brock and Big Show moment where the ring breaks again or something like that. That wouldn't be bad, but maybe let's see if Triple H can find a way to make this good.
It's definitely going to be a WrestleMania type of moment to where they show for years and years, but still, it's almost like, like I want so much better for Brock.
Me
I don't
too.
want.
I agree. I don't want to see this match, but I'm just trying to make sense of it and trying to almost be optimistic. Like, all right, like we'll see what happens. I mean, it could be a catastrophe, or
I mean, I think it is. I don't think it's
it might be.
I don't think it's gonna get the type of reaction that they're hoping for, in my opinion. But I mean, as Adam Pearce would say, it's official. We're getting Brock and Omos at WrestleMania, and after the Bobby Lashley squash of, was it Elias? I almost said Ezekiel. Wow.
Yeah, Elias, and
I hit melatonin Monday night. It was
Yeah.
had a long day, and I was like, I gotta go. I'm like, I gotta go to sleep. So
yeah, that was just. I'm sorry, but Bobby Lashley cannot do a promo. That was just. I was just cringing. Every once in a while, you can pull a good one out of him. Like, even when he was a heel, you could pull a good one out of him. But oh boy, it just babyface Bobby Lashley doing a promo. It just wasn't. The crowd didn't really react. It just, and then that muscle Man Bray video. That was just. I mean, if. I don't even know what to say about that. That just. I wanted to change the channel, to be honest. Really, they have completely lost me on Bray. Completely.
I'm lost too. It's like, and again, Bobby Lashley and Bray Wyatt, it doesn't scream WrestleMania to me, especially if you're, what Triple H is, the rumor is that he's going to cut back on the matches, and it's not going to be,
that I agree with.
10. Listen, I agree with it too. He's been doing it the past, 5 months, 6 months. It's been a thing, and for your biggest show, why would that change? You don't need a meaningless Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal because it means nothing.
No.
The last women's Battle Royal you had, I'm pretty sure it was for a title shot. Naomi won it, never got her title shot. So who cares about those? Get them off the card. Stop, putting people on there just to put them on there because it's WrestleMania. If anything, it should matter more and be more important, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So
quality over quantity.
Absolutely. And you know what? Listen, maybe we'll be wrong. And Bobby and Bobby Lashley and Bray Wyatt will be a great match, but I'm just so over the Bray Wyatt experiment. Listen, when he came back, super intrigued. It was awesome.
Oh, I was
you know,
it was great.
yeah, and it's okay. He's had one match since he's been
Yeah.
back, and
Yeah.
now it's like who cares? Like it's not nothing's happening, you know. Alexa's like, are you done with Alexa? You know, like what's happening with that? And you know, I'll give a shout out to my buddy Tom. We were talking about the Bray Wyatt promo from SmackDown with the can you keep
I'm
a
trying
secret?
to remember it.
Was it can I want to hear a story, or was can you keep a secret?
So one of those.
It was something along those lines, but it was the voice. It was the voice that was saying it.
Eric Young.
I don't know.
A lot of people are saying it might be Eric Young.
Exactly. Yeah, there you go. It sounded just like him, and I didn't realize that because he's a Bray guy, but I just don't like. I was watching it because he told me to watch it, but like I didn't really care. You know, like it. He was like, "Oh, listen to the voice. Listen to the voice. Someone might be returning," and I'm listening. I'm like, I don't know who. That's how uninvested I am in this because it's just what's happening. Like, should I get off the pot? Do something with this because it's like, who is he? Who is he? You know,
I don't
he's
know.
coming on with the lantern. He's doing the Firefly Funhouse. He's cutting promos like the Fiend. What are you like? What's happening?
It is just bizarre the way they have booked him. You know what? And I don't even know if it's just the way they booked him. You know, it could be just his creative ideas. Because some of these ideas really, the Firefly Funhouse, the Muscle Man video, it's just, part of me says, you know what, maybe Vince had, maybe he was right about some of the stuff with Bray. It's too, like, out there.
Or maybe he ran out of good ideas because I liked the Fiend, you know, but then, you know, that lost to Goldberg, and then during the pandemic, you know, he was champion. The thing with Braun, then he lost it when Roman came back. It's just been, you know, it hasn't been working, and it's. I want to see something good come out of it because you need different stars, you need different things happening, and you know it would be great if you know it moves in a positive direction because that whole thing with LA Knight, forgettable.
I was excited in the beginning once they started doing the promos back and forth, and then the pitch black match was just horrible. And honestly, I've just been tuned out with Bray ever since then. It's just, where are we going with all this? Like, get to the point. I don't know if they're waiting for Mania to get to the point of all this, and maybe to form a new Wyatt family or something like they're supposed to do, and have Alexa Bliss involved and Eric Young and Bo Dallas as Howdy or whatever. You know, okay, but let's get to the point. Like, how
agree.
long are we going to stretch this out for?
Yeah, I'm waiting. I'm ready. You know, I've been waiting. I'm ready.
I'm off the Bray Wyatt train right now, man. Maybe I'll hop back on, but right now there's a disconnect there. I just don't get it.
I agree. I guess, and then after that was the main event. We're skipping around. The envelope that Maurice gave the Miz a couple of weeks ago. You know, what we were saying is right. He's going to be the host of WrestleMania, and that's great to get him, you know, on Mania without him being in a match because he's not really feuding with anyone per se. Like the Gargano thing is over with, so he doesn't really have any direction. It's in Hollywood. He's an A-lister. So
Yeah.
I love it. I think it's perfect. I am a huge Miz fan.
Mm-hmm.
He's awesome. I love it. Have Maurice there too. Please, the more Maurice, the better.
Yeah.
And I liked what they did with his announcement. Rollins interrupted, attacked the Miz, curb stomp, picked up Miz's phone, did a terribly recorded FaceTime with Logan Paul. And I'm intrigued. I'm more intrigued in Logan Paul and Seth Rollins than I am Bray Wyatt.
Oh, 100% for me. Definitely. This is a match that's just going to steal the show, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll definitely. I'm more excited. Miz, this is a perfect spot for him just to be the host, and it's not like they had much planned for him to do on the show or have a match. There wasn't really anything for him to do, so perfect guy to get to host, and maybe at some point in the show, somebody like they have a legend come out and attack him or something, or beat him up.
He's eating a finisher. He's getting a stunner. He's getting something. It's gonna
definitely
happen.
It's gonna happen. It's just a matter of who's gonna do it.
Yeah,
but this is a good spot for him. He's perfect at this kind of stuff.
Yeah, he's really good at it, and I agree with you. I think Rollins and Logan Paul are going to steal the show, and it's night one, night two, doesn't matter. He's good in the ring. The story's interesting. Cost them eliminate him in the Royal Rumble, cost them the United States Championship. So, we said it. It needs to happen. There's 30 days, a little less than 30. Come Monday next week, there's going to be even less time leading up to WrestleMania. I need Rollins to come on Impulsive and attack him.
Yeah,
get it going. I think it would be great. I think it would be awesome.
No, I think it'd be pretty cool too. Seth Rollins and Logan Paul, to me, you could put them on either night and they're going to steal the show. It's going to be, they're going to have a spot in the match. It's going to be crazy. Everybody's going to be talking about. It happens in every Logan Paul match so far. There's always a crazy spot. The one, with him and Ricochet at the Royal Rumble, and awesome. The one at SummerSlam when he's holding his phone and he's splashing through the table and stuff like that. So
that's his thing, and WrestleMania is the perfect place for it.
Perfect place for it, and it's people love to hate him, but he's something else.
He is, and I'm going to talk about someone who came back Monday night who no one hates.
Nobody.
And that is Trish Stratus. 100%
great.
Stratus faction. She always looks great. And
she's almost 50 years old, and she's still out there just looking
46.
Amazing.
I think she's 46. I looked it up because the wife even said it. She goes, how old is she? I'm like, it's impolite to ask a woman her age, so I wouldn't do that. But I love Trish. I'm gonna take you guys down memory lane. That one time after WrestleMania 34, New Orleans, I'm in the airport with my boys, and we're sitting down, waiting for our flight. There's legends everywhere because they weren't going to Raw because we skipped out. We were being cheap. Didn't get Monday Night Raw tickets, whatever. Better experience in the airport. Sitting down. Everyone's walking by. The late Mean Gene walked by. The drunk, old Grim Reaper Ric Flair walked by. And then Bubba Ray was over there with his, at the time, girlfriend, Velvet Sky. And then all of a sudden, a glistening glow came through the window. It shined in the center. And who was walking by? Trish Stratus.
Yeah,
Oh.
she's.
Woo!
If anybody
saying
out
hello to
there,
everybody, saying hi to Rick. She was in the bar talking to Rick for like 10 minutes. And you know what? She left. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna go say hi and ask for a picture. Walked up. She was in one of those little shops, had a bath bomb in her hand. And I said, excuse me, Trish, do you mind if we take a quick photo? She goes, yeah, sure. Took it. Her arm rested on my shoulder. Took the picture. Snap, snap, snap. She said it looked great. I said, you look great. She said, thank you. And then I said, I appreciate you taking the time. You have a great day. Safe flight. So now, anytime she uses that bath bomb or any bath bomb, she thinks of me.
She's just, she's unbelievable to me. It's just, her and Lita were over at a period of time where the women really weren't. There really wasn't much of a women's division. They weren't pushed the way they are, now and taken seriously. So they were in, a period of time where they were over, and the people backstage really didn't want to push the women's division the way Becky Lynch is getting pushed and Charlotte and stuff. So they overcame a lot of odds, and they're just. If anybody has a problem with them being involved in anything, like just stop.
It took them a while too to get over because Lita started off as one of the Godfather's hoes.
Yeah.
And then she, was with S.A. Rios. And then, he was being a dick to her. The Hardy Boys saved her. And then she became, with the Hardy Boys. And she was honestly noticed, I think, maybe not at first. A little with S.A. Rios. She would do the Hurricanrana, Lita Karana, the moonsault. But it was her thumb that was like always like revealed and shown. And I feel like that was a great way for her at that time because no one took women's wrestling seriously to get noticed.
Yeah.
And you know what? Look at Trish. She was like barking like a dog with Vince.
Yeah.
Then it was with TNA, which obviously the TNA was for her, and the tight clothes, the push-up bras and shit, to get the guys' attention because that's what sold during the Attitude Era. It was like a different time. Sex sells. It was a completely different time. Different but time those period. Two were the pioneers to where people started to care about women's wrestling rather than just them as, sex symbols or whatever. They were the first women to main event Raw.
Yeah, they were the first women to main event Raw. And I said the other night, wow, it's just really cool seeing Lita main event Raw again. I think it's probably been since, what was that, 2003 or 2004, around that time period where they had that match and they main event. It's been a while, so
I think it was earlier than that. They main evented Raw during the Attitude Era, I think.
Did they?
I think so,
It couldn't have been in 99 or 2000. It could have had to be.
It had to be end of 2000, probably 2001. Let me check the old Google machine.
Maybe it was 2002. Because I don't see Vince putting Lita and Trish in the main event during, the Monday Night Wars. I don't see that happening. But maybe I'm wrong. Could be.
Let me see.
I thought it was in the Ruthless Aggression era.
Oh, you know what? You are 100. It's a good thing this wasn't one of the trivia questions because I would have got it wrong. It was December 6, 2004. You're right.
Yeah, I had a feeling it was 03 or 04. I
That
just
was
didn't think
good.
the Attitude Era, just because I don't see Vince at that time doing that. But
You're right.
it was nice seeing them back in a main event spot.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? It's different when the women come back like that. I mean, it's really only Trish and Lita. Then, like, if Goldberg were to come back, or if I guess some would say The Rock, but like when these female legends come back, I love it because there's no real, like, the women's roster is loaded, but not with main event talent.
Agreed. Yeah, I mean, you got Charlotte, you got Rhea, Becky, Bianca, Bailey, but
5.
you need a little more depth in there. But
I think so, yeah.
Bring Trish and Leah back is perfect. I'm curious to see where they go for Mania. I don't know. Like, do they do 3-on-3, or do they have a tag team title match against Shayna and Ronda with damage? They could go a few different ways here for this. I don't know what they do for this.
I think after missing the last 2 WrestleManias due to injury and due to just not being booked on the card, I think Bayley versus Trish would be perfect. It's saying, "Hey Bayley, we fucked up. Sorry you haven't been on Mania for the past 2 years. Here's a match you and Trish." And then do what you were saying, Lita and Becky versus Ronda and Shayna, and throw damage control in there. I don't know if that's a good idea because all they do is lose. And I was talking about this on Twitter, and someone was saying, damage control, has been a failure, but the 3 of them separately are good. And I said, it's hard to have a dominant women's faction because I don't think there's ever been one really.
Not that I can recall, or at least one that was successful. I mean, this one, it is missing something, but I'm not sure what it is. It's just not fully there for me, especially with the audience reactions. But it's good for what it is, I think.
At SummerSlam, when they all came out, that was great.
Yeah,
but then maybe it's Bayley. I don't know.
No,
maybe Bayley's got to go.
I don't know what it is. Maybe some of the audience doesn't know much about Dakota Kai and Io Sky. Maybe they didn't watch them in NXT. Maybe, I don't know, but it hasn't hit on all cylinders for me with them. But we'll see what happens. Maybe they do Trish and Bayley on a one-on-one match, and then Lita and Becky do their own thing. From what I hear, Trish is this is gonna be a long run for her. From what I hear, she's not just doing Mania and then leaving town. She's, I think, staying past Mania. So you're gonna see a lot more of her, I think.
Trish and Bayley, Trish and Becky, Trish and Rhea.
Well, she's got a lot of matches left on the
Trish and Bianca.
Yeah, and maybe I'm sure that's what she's thinking. She's like, well, you know what? Maybe I'll have a little less run here. There's a lot of matches that I could have with people.
Trish and Asuka. Oh my God, we forgot Asuka, dude. We forgot Asuka when we were talking about main event.
She's another one. I mean, she's in. She's going against Bianca for the Raw Women's titles, though, and she's probably gonna win. I hope she wins, but
I think she should. It'll be a nice change. Let Bianca chase. Let her chase Asuka. That's who should have a stable. Is Asuka.
Right.
I feel.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. I feel like right now she's cool on her own with this new gimmick, but
Yeah.
down the line, that'd be cool.
Especially with this gimmick down the line, that would be cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, throw whoever you have in there. I don't know. I don't want to say like Xia Li and like Io, because like you can't have something like that because then you need a mouthpiece.
Yeah.
And then when I think Paige was the manager for the Kabuki War,
God, that was
like
that was
what?
It
That made no sense.
Yeah, that was terrible. I think they just wanted to get Paige on TV, but that was just that didn't work out. No. It's not like what she's doing right now is working out either, but
no,
that's a whole different story.
But something else that happened, you know, on Raw is Cody had a great match with Chad Gable. I thought it was a good
great
match. Some nerds were saying that the match lasted too long. This guy took this much time putting away Chad Gable. How is he going to beat Roman? Here's how he's going to beat Roman. He's not. Cody's not winning the title at WrestleMania.
Oh my, yes he is.
No.
He's 100% winning it.
1,000 days. If you're not, because here's the thing.
They don't care about that.
They do care about it because if The Rock was available, we were getting Rock and Roman.
Oh, definitely.
Rock is not beating Roman. So therefore, I don't see them changing their plans.
Yeah, but Rock wasn't going to beat Roman because it wouldn't have made sense, and Rock's not staying around. Cody's staying.
Right.
Cody's the new once. Roman's taking a vacation after. He's going to take some time off after he loses. So they need a new face, and that's going to be Cody.
1,000 days as champion is what Roman's going to reach. It hasn't been done in decades. They have to do it.
Yeah, but that's just to them. That's just a number. That's they're not going to change their plans. Just say, oh well, 1,000 days is Roman is. I don't know. That'd be. I think that'd be a bad move. That'd probably be a bad move. You gotta pull the trigger and have Cody win. Otherwise, who's going to beat Roman?
Cody gets his redemption at SummerSlam.
That's tough. I don't know.
He wins the Money in the Bank like he was supposed to. Because what I see them doing, I feel like, they can't just change it. But it's not like it's 500 days. It's 1,000. 1,000 days as champion. I feel like that's what the character needs. That's where they need to go with this. He's the head of the table. He's already eclipsing records. He's coming close to Bruno. He's coming close to Cena and Hogan as total or whatever. But I want the 1,000 days. I like Cody. Unfortunately, him getting hurt when he did was at the wrong time last year. And him being healthy now is the right time for the story, but the wrong time to pull the trigger. You're too close to 1,000 days.
Yeah, I just don't see them doing that. And I mean, I'm a little biased too because I'm a Cody fan, so I want to see Cody win, but I just don't see them doing that. They maybe they do, who knows? But I would be very, very, very surprised if they did. Like for me, it's like a 99.5% chance Cody wins, but we'll see.
I'm gonna take that 5%.
Yeah, wow.
And hope that I want to see the 1,000 days. I think it would be special. It would be cool. I think it's also that the 1,000 day mark would be the Saudi pay-per-view. I'm not saying that's when Cody should win it, but there's no pay-per-view this month. So the next title defense is April. And then after that, would be May. That's when they're doing, which I can't wait to talk about, the King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring, or Queen. It's the Queen of something. I don't know, but the King and Queen of the Rings. So that would be May, June. Oh no, wait! I think they're doing Backlash. Backlash is coming back because we
Yes,
talked
they are.
about, and they're removing the WrestleMania Backlash, which is great because we
Good.
talked about that last week. It's a mouthful to say. You know what? I don't know because I feel that. Listen, I'm not going to be upset if Cody wins. It's going to be good because then it's also now it's like what happens with both belts? What's he going to do? You know, is he going to defend each one separately? You know,
yeah, that's another tough one because it just at some point they're going to have to split them. So
they need to be.
I don't know how they go about that.
Or you don't have to split them. And he just goes on both shows, Raw and SmackDown. One belt, one kind of like what they did with the very first brand split. You know, when there was the undisputed champion, they went to both shows. You know, it only lasted for a couple of months, but the roster
they'll probably do that in the beginning, but at some point they're going to want to take one of those off.
But I don't think they need two separate champions. I don't know.
USA Network is going to want a champion.
They could both be on. What if they're on both shows? What if Cody does both?
He could, but at some point, the network is just going to want to have their champion. Which I mean, I get, but
I get it, but you know.
I just don't know how they go about it. We'll see. Maybe the Money in the Bank, somehow they get one off of them. I have no idea how they're going to do. They backed themselves in the corner with that one.
They did.
But we'll see. We'll see.
AEW has a pay-per-view.
They certainly do. They certainly do. I'm predicting it's probably going to be, I don't want to say their worst pay-per-view they've ever done, but just it's definitely the least hyped pay-per-view they've ever done. I mean, who's talking about, nobody's talking about this pay-per-view right now. Nobody.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm excited for MJF and Danielson. That'll be a good match, an Iron Man match, which we don't see a lot. But
is it 60 minutes?
It's 60 minutes. So
on a pay-per-view? Wow.
Yeah, I don't know why we rushed this and just said, okay, the first match they ever have is going to be a 60-minute Iron Man match. Okay. What feud has ever started off like that? I don't know. It just doesn't. Yeah. It's kind of like having dinner before the appetizer. Like, okay, just give us everything at this point. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Tony Khan just books things like he's pulling things out of a hat sometimes, and this is one of them. Like, all right, I'm excited to see Bryan Danielson and MJF have a match, but why does it have to be an Iron Man match? It just started. The feud just started. Like, it just, I don't know.
Yeah, especially when you think about, more historic Iron Man matches. Yeah. Bret and Shawn, Rock and Triple H, Angle and Brock. Yeah. Those were all, it took a while to get there. There was a lot of back and forth, trading wins, who was better. For their first match to be Iron Man, it's like, and this is the guy who won Booker of the Year.
Oh, please. I don't even want to talk about the Observer Awards and stuff. It's just, I think even Dave Meltzer is starting to realize that, okay, maybe everybody that votes for this isn't correct. Yeah. They aren't accurate because some things I read, it sounded like that's what he was trying to say. Like, yeah, these, Tony Khan won Booker of the Year, but Triple H might have deserved it more. But yeah, there's more. By the way, MJF is retaining. I think. I don't see Bryan Danielson winning.
Yeah, you know what? I haven't been watching.
I just
You know,
often,
even I catch what I can on Twitter. You
Mhm.
know, like I follow it. You know, I try to stay in the know, but I just
Yeah.
have, you know, I don't really have interest in it, and I'm trying to give them a chance. It's like bring me back in, make me interested in your product, and I just I don't care. You know, it's
Yeah, AEW is just right now is just ice cold, and WWE's red hot. It's WrestleMania season. They got the
yeah.
Bloodline stuff going on. Cody, you know, they got a lot of stuff going on in WWE, and right now AEW. I mean, you would never know they have a pay per view this Saturday. It's
I
just
didn't.
I'd love to
And
see
you-
what the I'd love to see what the pay per view buys are going to be because I don't. I don't know if they're going to be that high this time around. There's probably going to be a decrease, but I that's the top match. I mean, you have other matches, John Moxley and Adam Page, and a Texas Death Match because, of course, it's going to be a Texas Death Match with John Moxley in it. But that's another one. You have Samoa Joe and Wardlow, which Tony Khan has. He just does not know how to book Wardlow. I don't think he knows what to do with him. I don't know. He made him into a star, and then it was like, okay, like just scrap all that. We'll just go start from new. Start from the beginning. He
he was
just
hot. He was white hot.
he was the biggest star in the business in the summer with MJF and all that stuff, and Tony Khan followed it up with nothing. They cut his hair. Now he looks like Mason Ryan. Remember Mason Ryan?
Yeah.
Now
He was
looks like
in
Mason
in the
Ryan.
Nexus. Mason
Yeah.
Ryan was in Nexus. And then you know what? And I think maybe that's why that I don't really care because it's so hard to get invested into someone when it's not but like it's not done the right way. You know, it's like how can
Yeah.
I care about this guy if they don't care about him? And it's like even like he's being
Yeah.
shoved down our throats, but it's like what'd you do? You know, he was doing so well. Like what happened?
Yeah, I don't know what
we have a comment from the Pesky Report, which you can also find on Belly Up, where we are, and everyone else who has an awesome podcast is. Pesky Report goes, Mason Ryan was a dipshit, and I would love to know why, because I never really hear anything about Mason
Yeah,
Ryan, let alone anything negative.
I don't even remember. I just remember he was in the Nexus and he was tall and athletic and had a beard and kind of looks
An
like
Australian
Wardlow now.
Batista.
Yeah, he didn't work out. But yeah, I just wish Tony Khan would figure out what to do with Wardlow. Either that or just let Wardlow go to the WWE at this point because they know what to do with him. You know
Not
that.
over.
Imagine a Wardlow Brock Lesnar match. That would be. Oh, that'd be pretty good. Other matches, you got Chris Jericho, and Ricky Starks, which is probably the worst booked feud I've seen on AEW television just because it's just ass backwards. They had Ricky Starks beat Chris Jericho. And then it's almost like they just pretended that never happened. And now they're just back to, Ricky Starks wants to beat Chris Jericho. You already beat him. You just beat him a few weeks ago. Why are we having this match again? And it's just like, are we just so supposed to forget that Ricky Starks beat him a few weeks ago? I don't know. It's just Tony Khan's booking. Doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
But
seems to be the theme for a lot of
yeah,
stuff.
it does. I feel like I've said that 100 times already, but it's the truth. It's just everything. At least this card, sometimes Tony does does book some good stuff, but this card,
Yeah.
oh boy, it's a mess. And then you have the Elite versus the House of Black in a trios match, which should be a good match, but I am ready to see Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks do something different. And
Yeah.
maybe have Kenny go back in the singles competition. He's too much of a star to stick him in a trio. I just put him back in the main event picture and the title picture and stuff like that. Have him feud with MJF. That'd be good.
Yeah. I would be interested in that for sure.
Yeah. Or just have, or just have a little have WWE just try and sign him, and then everybody's happy.
Is it true Tony Khan added time while he was hurt?
I heard that. I guess it's true. I don't know how much
November,
time
right?
he added. I don't know how much time he added. I don't know if it's to the end of the year. Some people are saying, it's to November. I'm not sure. But Kenny Omega did say he's open to it. He's open to,
That's
coming
just
to
smart
WWE.
business. That's just smart because then he's just going to get paid more money wherever he goes now.
Yeah. I mean, if he's saying he's open to it, WWE is going to knock down his door and say, okay, well, if you're open to it, how much you want and for how many years?
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. So that's revolution.
That's it.
You had, I think, wait a minute, one more match. You had the women's match: Jamie Hayter, Saraya, and Ruby Soho, which I'm not jumping up and down about, but I'm sure. Hopefully, Jamie Hayter wins, or I would like to see Ruby Soho win too. But Saraya's run in AEW to me has been just terrible.
Yeah,
they've made her feel like just any other person on that roster now.
And you know what? I was gonna say that it's like she's just there, kind of like what you were saying. Like she's just another little pawn being moved here and there. No real significance.
When she first came in, I was like, wow, okay, like big move. And then like 2 weeks later, it was like, okay, she's just in the mix. It's just she's any other person now. And that's Tony Khan's big problem. He just makes big stars feel like just any other person.
Yeah.
Bryan Danielson at one point, he did that tue.
He just collects to collect.
Yeah. It's just weird. I don't like she just like you imagine if WWE like the way they would have brought her back, it would have been a marquee match on a pay-per-view. Oh, Paige is coming out of retirement. She's gonna face Charlotte or something. They would have made her feel like a Becky Lynch or Bianca Belair in a big spot. Now she's just in a tag team with Toni Storm, and they're just I don't know. Oh, and by the way, the crowd has turned on her already, so she's a heel. So they fumble the bag with her.
Yeah, she gets a lot of shit on Twitter too.
Oh, a lot. And
yeah.
I wouldn't blame her. Blame the guy who's booking it.
Yeah.
But they don't want to do that.
Wow, so we might have a short show today. If that's all that there is for AEW. You know what? I'm just looking at our little banners here. There is something I want to talk about. But first, I want to talk one more time about Cody heading back to SmackDown. What do you want to see happen with him and Roman? Because Roman's going to be there. Cody's going to be there. What do you want to see?
I would love to see just a face-to-face, get the crowd going. The crowd's going to go insane with them just coming nose to nose. But I try and continue the bloodline story a bit too. Have Jay there and Jimmy and Paul and kind of have the whole bloodline in the ring, and maybe like maybe have them attack Cody, and then you have Sammy run out and KO run out, and maybe it start to, build the blocks to Sammy and KO reuniting at some point.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
you would.
It has to be a way to get them back on page.
So you would have Jay walk out with them rather than be in the crowd like he has been.
No, maybe you have him start out in the crowd, and kind of like again, like how they did last week, a little like he's reluctant to to whose side he's on, and still like tease that a bit, but have like Solo and Jimmy and Paul in the ring with him, and then
even with Roman there, you would still have Jay kind of be in the crowd.
Yeah,
like, would you think with
I
Roman being there that it might like he might be like, all right, let's like Roman be like, all right, get your brother, let's go, or
he could, I could see Roman doing that.
Ooh.
There's a lot of ways you could go. It's so hard to predict this story. It's been like that for months. I don't know where to go with it. That might be the most intriguing thing of all of it. I don't know what to do.
I'm going to tell you right now how I start SmackDown. You got to start it with Cody. SmackDown's so good that you don't need to have that as the main event because people watch SmackDown as it is, Mm-hmm. So Cody opens the show. He's in the ring talking, and then Roman's music hits. It's the Bloodline. No Jay. I like what you're saying. Jay's in the crowd. That's where Jay is. They walk down to the ring. The whole Bloodline's in the ring. And then they talk, cut the promos. And then I like what you were saying, that they attack Cody. Because then you have Roman attacking. You have Jimmy attacking. And you have Solo attacking. 3. Mm-hmm. 3 on 1. Sammy and KO make the save by running through the crowd. And Sammy, as he's running, bumps into Jay in the crowd. They look at each other. He hops, goes in, and then
that's a good idea.
And then the faces battle off, the heels, and then they hype up. I think it's too early to have Cody in a match with the Bloodline.
Well, I mean,
hype
what
it,
is it?
Like hype it up. If maybe a one-on-one match, maybe Cody versus Jay, being that on Monday. Is it Monday we're getting Solo and KO, or is that Friday?
No, Monday.
So then, if we're getting Solo and KO on Monday, Friday, give me Jimmy Uso versus Cody Rhodes after that beatdown.
Yeah, you could do Cody and Solo. You could do Cody and Solo too. I mean, you got 3-4 weeks till Mania, so you got some time to build this up more. And you know what? WrestleMania could be tomorrow, and people are still going to be intrigued for this match.
Absolutely.
This match is kind of. There's not much you have to do for this match. There's not much more story to add to it. It's a big time match. Yeah. And, the story with Cody winning the title, his father never won. And, so you got a story already. All you have to do is have a face off and then kind of build towards Mania but there's not a lot of heavy lifting they have to do for this.
No. Especially because, this story goes back to last year. Because when Cody came back, everyone knew he was going to be the guy. But it was going to be one. Because there was no one else. Even with Theory having the Money in the Bank, you knew he wasn't going to successfully cash in. So all of the eggs, were in the Cody basket. Mm-hmm. And you knew what was happening. It was just a matter of when. So he got hurt.
Yeah.
And then Theory won the Money in the Bank. but you still knew that it was still going to be Cody.
Mm.
Cody wins the Rumble, he's back. But now I think the question still is when? When does Cody dethrone Roman? WrestleMania or SummerSlam?
No, it's gonna be Mania.
1,000 days. Sounds good.
Yeah, it'd be a big accomplishment for Roman. I mean, he's breaking records, but I'd find it very hard to believe if he wins. I don't see it. If they have Roman win and beat Cody, oh boy, I don't know. It might ruin some plans.
WrestleMania 34. Roman was supposed to beat Brock.
Well, that was a whole different. That was just terrible. That was one of the worst main events.
I know. I was there.
Ever. It just sucked. Oh God! And that was when Brock. That's when Brock threw the title.
Yeah.
At Vince and Gorilla, which to this day I don't know if that was a shoot or that was a work. I don't know what that was. I don't know if
it was definitely a shoot.
Yeah, but they had footage of it, so
I feel like they're always recording back there. Because
maybe they
look at I think that there's always a camera crew back there for when someone comes back because they're always making some sort of documentaries. Plus, it's WrestleMania, so but they got a good one.
Oh, that was
that shit.
That was, and you know what? That was deserved too because that main event was just god awful. And Roman, they booked Roman horribly, and oh god, it was just. I remember watching that and just saying, "Oh boy, we're in WWE's in big trouble after this one."
They were booing Roman at that WrestleMania. They didn't want Roman. Brock won. They popped. They popped for Brock. I was shocked because I definitely thought it would be Roman, leading up to it, but it wasn't. So I was like, shit.
Mm. Yep.
So Cody is making his return to SmackDown this Friday, but this Monday,
That's right. It's gonna be a big Monday.
And his name is John Cena. John Cena, the GOAT, is making his return to Monday Night Raw, and this is another thing to where this you don't really need to do a lot of lifting for this. We're getting Theory and John Cena, and this goes back to last year too, and I love it. Cena said that he sees Austin Theory as a future WrestleMania main eventer.
Oh, he is. I mean,
book it. I love Austin Theory.
I think he's great. I think Austin Theory and John Cena is the perfect match.
Yes.
For WrestleMania. I know they were trying to do it at SummerSlam, but Cena's schedule didn't work out or whatever. But this is the type of match that needs to be at Mania. I'm interested to see who goes over.
Theory.
I don't know. I could see Cena. I could see Cena winning it, and then maybe he does like an open challenge on Raw the next night, and maybe like a surprise, like maybe an NXT guy comes up and beats him or like a Carmelo Hayes, and he puts somebody like that over. I could see them going that route. I could see it, or maybe maybe a Jay White or something like that. That'd be pretty cool. But they could go either way with this.
I think that Theory has to win. He has to win this because if he loses to Cena at Mania, then it's almost like, you're going back to his failed Money in the Bank cash-in for the United States Championship.
I guess. I feel like he could overcome
it's Theory's time. It's Theory's time.
Just being in a match with John Cena, though, that says a lot. If you win or lose, you're in a match with John Cena at WrestleMania. So
it says more if you beat John Cena at WrestleMania.
It does.
Not many people have done it.
100% it does. But even if he took the L, he was in there. He was in there with Cena at Mania, so it kind of elevates him to a new level. But no, I agree with you. He should win. But I wouldn't be surprised if they put it on Cena and then he came out the next night and dropped it to somebody. Maybe somebody coming off like a Carmelo Hayes. Maybe a surprise by Jay White or something like that. I could see it.
That would be like Solo winning the North American title just to have to relinquish it the next week because he's on SmackDown. It almost be
I
like
forgot about that. I forgot all about
it's almost
that,
like
to
what's
be
the
honest.
point?
Yeah,
But
I if I had bet on it, I'd probably bet on Theory winning.
yeah, I'm all in on Theory.
Oh, me, yeah. Me too.
I feel like it's the right time. It's the right story. This is the perfect way to pass the torch, especially for the United States title, the first title Cena held. But Cena's not going to take the United States title on the set of the Peacemaker. He's not bringing this to his next movie. He's coming in as John's.
That's why I say just do it. You have him win, drop it on, and then just drop it on Raw and elevate another person. So you had a match with Theory. You elevated him just by being in a match with him on Mania, and then the next time you elevate somebody. So he's putting two people over, in a sense. But they could just have Theory win outright, which is probably what they're going to do.
Who did John Cena interact with at WrestleMania 35?
Oh God, it was Elias. Yeah.
How good was that? Right? Really wasn't that?
I thought it was. I mean, I was there, so I thought it was great.
Me too.
But, yeah. Well. Yeah,
I don't know if this is a hard.
I guess when you think about it, it wasn't all that great.
And if you weren't there, would you have remembered?
Just because he came out as the doctor of Thugonomics. That's the only reason I would have remembered it. And that's the only reason I do remember it. But again, it's Elias and Theory. I get two different people. Elias, really wasn't, he was a mid-carder. He just sat in the ring and now he's even below mid-card. He's like lower level card. It's just weird.
And then the next night, he got chokeslammed and tombstone by the Undertaker on Raw.
Yeah,
Elias. So, I maybe it was a bad point that I was trying to make, but I feel like we're past the point with John Cena where just being in a match with him at WrestleMania means something. It's not back like when he was wrestling. Like if John Cena were to beat Edge at WrestleMania, whatever. Like it didn't really matter because Edge is established. Theory, I don't think is fully established yet. And a win over Cena at Mania, I think puts him there because Miz, Rock, Undertaker. I'm trying to think of people that pinned John Cena at WrestleMania. I don't know how the triple threat match ended at WrestleMania 24. I don't know who pinned who. But Cena doesn't lose at WrestleMania a lot,
No, that's why I'm saying I wouldn't be surprised if he won because they like, him winning at WrestleMania. That's a big deal. So they don't have him lose a lot at Mania. So I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know. We'll see.
I'm checking it right now because I'm curious, but for some reason, here we go. John Cena lost 5 times at WrestleMania.
The Taker.
His first loss was against the Viper, Randy Orton. It was a triple threat match.
Yeah. I don't know if he got pinned.
I'm going to check on YouTube right now.
It was Taker at 34. The Rock at 28.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Cena took the pin.
Okay, there you go.
Wow. Okay, so Orton pinned Cena. Orton. Rock.
I know I'm missing one.
Undertaker, The Miz, And
Yes, The Miz. Oh God, I forgot about that one. That was terrible.
I'm looking.
I mean, with 5,
Yeah.
I think it was Taker, Rock, Miz, Orton. Jeez, what was the
He
I
beat
can't
Big Show
remember.
at 20. He
Maybe
beat
Bray
Batista.
Wyatt. It might have been Bray Wyatt at the COVID one.
Oh,
Yeah.
The Funhouse.
Forgot all
match.
about that.
Wow.
And that
Yeah.
wasn't even a match. That wasn't even a match. That was just like, I don't even know what. That was just like
Wow,
a
you're
movie
right.
almost.
Yeah.
It was like a video. It was like a cinematic thing they did, and it was just, I don't know. They did what they could do, but
You're right. I forgot about that.
I think everybody forgot about that one.
Because
I was
don't-
just trying to
I didn't
remember.
consider it a match. I didn't think of that as a match.
No, that wasn't a match. It was like just Bray Wyatt stuff. But
Yeah.
hey, it was a crazy time.
Yeah. All right. So listen, I would prefer a Theory W, but you know what? But but that's why I'm saying, is just being in a match with John Cena really memorable? Look at the Bray Wyatt thing we forgot about.
Well, that was.
But at the time, though,
different.
like that cinematic match was the reason why. Wait, no, was that during the same time as the Boneyard match, right?
Yeah.
The Boneyard match was much better.
Oh, the Boneyard match was great. I thought that was him and Taker and Styles did a great job with that.
Yeah,
and just even seeing the filming of that, like the behind the scenes stuff with that was really cool.
Yeah,
they did a great job at that.
They did. Who knows what could happen? Either way, it's Theory and Cena at WrestleMania.
Yep.
Cena comes back this Monday. This Monday is going to be loaded. Cena's coming back. We're getting Gargano versus Balor.
I'm happy about that one. Yep. It's going to be Gargano and Balor. They're finally, getting Johnny Gargano back out there and doing, just get him on a run here. Let's see him have a Mania match or something. They kind of teased the match with him and Priest backstage.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be opposed to that if that gets them both on the card, at least. It'd be a good wrestling match. I like Johnny Gargano. He's a good worker. And I could see Gargano and Priest being on Mania because rest of Judgment Day all have matches. Finn's with Edge, Rhea with Charlotte. Dom's gonna be. It's almost a given at this point. He's gonna facing Ray. So throw Priest in a match with Gargano. Why not?
I can see it. Maybe that could be for the U.S. title. If they want to get the title off Theory going into Mania. Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah.
Because there still is time. There's still 3-4 weeks left. So, anything could happen. But I feel like there was more happening on Raw. There was like four points I saw someone make.
Bianca Belair and Carmella.
I'm not really.
I like Carmella.
Yeah, me too. Oh, listen, the Princess of
Yeah.
Staten Island.
Yeah.
I love me some Carmella.
There was another one.
Fabulous.
The
face-off, Logan Paul and Seth Rollins.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
That'll be interesting. That's gonna be real interesting. I'm waiting for Jake Paul to just show up. I'm waiting any day now. Now that he lost to Fury, I'm just saying, okay, when's Jake Paul showing up to?
Yeah, it's a matter of time before that happens.
Yeah, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for that one. But that'll be good. Good face-off. Both of them can talk. Seth's over. Crowd hates Logan Paul, but it's hard to hate somebody that's so good in the ring. He's just great.
He is, and it's going to be a good Monday. Hopefully,
Yeah.
this is like the real pickup to where they start revving their engines for the road to WrestleMania and things start getting serious
Yeah.
to where the shows aren't, duds. I'm not expecting bangers for
Yeah.
all 3 hours, but
No,
give me something.
I think this Raw was just okay. We're gonna tell people why they should tune in next week. Next week, that's where they're gonna pop the big rating and they're
Yeah.
gonna have a really good show. Not that this show was horrible. It just, it was
It
just,
was all right.
it was all right. Yeah, I mean the title change at the end and Trish returning, that was probably the most memorable thing that happened on it.
Yeah.
And the Cody and Chad Gable match, like if you were to go back and rewatch anything, it'd probably it'd be those two things. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's about that time. For drum roll, please. Wait, are we ready for wrestling trivia?
Yeah.
Wrestling trivia.
I'm all set here.
All right, guys. It's that time of the show. We're nearing our end, and to keep you guys hooked, we are saving trivia for the very, very end of our show. And we have 3 questions each, just like last week. Last week, not to toot my own horn, but I went 3-0. So let's see if I can repeat that. Sal went 1-2. So we're just gonna keep doing this, and we're gonna keep our own score. This will be separate from when we bring guests on. This is just something to keep our knowledge a little sharpened, as they say.
Right.
So, let me see. Do I have my 3? 1, 2,
I got
3.
mine.
Yes, I do. Okay, I'll let you go first.
All right. This first one is very random, but hey,
Okay.
I'm gonna ask it. True or false? You got a true false question.
Ooh.
Ric Flair, and Terry Funk had a Texas death match in the year 2000.
In the year 2000?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say, true.
It is true. It is true. It was at WCW Super Brawl in the year 2000. And the only reason I even thought of this question was I saw a clip of it on Twitter, and boy, oh boy, was it embarrassing. It was so bad. And it just reminded me about how bad WCW was in 2000, where they had 2 of the best wrestlers in the world, and they're just looking horrible. It was so bad.
I actually thought that it took place like outside of WCW and WWF.
No, it was in WCW.
That was a bad time for WCW. I didn't really.
Oof.
I was never a WCW guy, and one of my not goals. That sounds pathetic when I say that. What I want to plan on doing is like how I'm doing the Attitude Era like journey, to where I'm Raw, SmackDown,
Right.
pay-per-view, and so on. I want to do that for WCW, where I'm hitting the Nitros, I'm hitting the Thunders, but the only thing I would probably really care about would be the NWO. Like, so I would have to start around that point to when Scott Hall. Like the first one I would watch would probably be when Scott Hall walked out. And
it's a big one. It's a good start.
But they had such a great run, but it was so short.
Yeah.
That it's unfortunate.
I avoid WCW 2000 in the year 2000 and 2001. I just avoid it because I know it's just garbage.
Yeah.
Thanks to Vince Russo.
Yeah,
bro. Vince Russo.
Bro.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
All right. My question. Name all 5 members of the right to censor.
Oh, damn. You had the Good Father,
Yes, that's
formerly
one.
the Godfather. Ivory.
Yes, that's 2.
Oh, Stephen Richards,
That's
who's
3.
actually not doing very well right now.
Really?
Yeah, he's in the hospital for some reason with major health issues, I think.
Oh, damn. Get well better. Get well better. Get well soon.
Val Venus.
Yes.
Oh God, who's the 5th guy?
The curveball.
There's always a curveball in a WWE faction, especially
Yes.
back then. Okay. What's Bull Buchanan?
Yes, there you go.
Wow.
That's good. You dug deep for that one. I was ready to throw you a clue.
I dug deep for that one. I completely forgot about him. But then
good.
I remembered because I watched the 2001 Royal Rumble a few weeks ago, and I remember him being in that stupid white shirt.
Yeah. Terrible. That was good.
The first 4 were easy. That 5th one, oh man.
Yeah,
all right.
Like you said, there's always that curveball.
Ready? Okay. What was the name of the tag team with Steve Austin and Brian Pillman? Going back for this one a little bit.
The Hollywood Blondes.
Yeah, oh, you got it. All right.
Oh.
You know
what's so funny about that? The Hollywood Blondes. I went on. Okay. Last week, I took a mental health day from work. I was like, fuck this. I'm not dealing with this shit today. I took a mental health day.
Mm-hmm.
I was getting ready in the morning, flushed my toilet. The bullshit inside the tank broke. I was like, motherfucker. I'm like, this is the karma I get for calling out. So the Home Depot by me, there's a Target. I gotta make a stop in the Target and look for some action figures.
Mm-hmm.
I'm walking through. I get to the wrestling aisle. Now they're on series like 100, for the elites. 100, 101, 102. They're well past 81. And right. I believe it was 81, but that's what I saw in Target. A beat up box, Series 81 of Stone Cold Steve Austin as the Hollywood Blonde. So I was like, wow. I almost purchased it, but the box was beat to shit. I was like, no. So that's one of the reasons why that I was so quick and ready with that, because I ran into that toy and I was like, this is funny.
Yeah, they're a good team. You have to go, back a ways to watch them, but you have the network.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for them, if it wasn't for the network, you really wouldn't have any way of watching all that old stuff from the late 80s and 90s. And so
I don't know what I would do if there was no WWE network, because it's literally one of the, because like I work from home, as you can see, and I don't listen to podcasts because I'm in the house. I have a TV here. Mm-hmm. So I replay like all the stuff I'm tweeting about that I'm watching. I let it play in the background, so it's like my podcast. I don't know what I would do. I would be watching like different random shit, but the network is it's the perfect thing for a fan. It's perfect.
Definitely.
Alrighty. So my question: which one do I want to ask? Okay. Who ended Stone Cold Steve Austin's last run as WWE champion? I have options for you. Was it Kurt Angle, Triple H, Chris Jericho, or The Rock?
Wow. It could be any of them. But I'm trying to think of the time period. He came back. He didn't win one in 03. I don't think he won one in 02. So it has to be 01. Part of me wants to say Jericho's on the list, right?
Yes.
Part of me wants to say Jericho because he beat Rock and Austin on the same night, and I don't know if he ever got it back. I'm gonna go with Jericho.
Final answer.
Yeah, that's final answer.
You are correct. Chris
All right.
Jericho.
I had a feeling. I was like, it couldn't have been Rock because at that time period, I think he had the world title.
Yeah, he did. It was the exact way you said it. It was when he beat The Rock and Austin in the same night.
Oh, so it was that night.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because that was the last time. Austin never held the Undisputed Championship, and he walked out.
Yeah.
And when he came back, I think he had maybe 1 or 2 matches, and then
on his neck. Yeah.
Yeah, when he almost fucking died.
Yeah, he faced. I think he only faced when he came back Bischoff, and then obviously Rock and Mania, and that was it.
Yeah,
which is crazy to think about, but wow. All right,
I know.
I'm 3
We're
for
both
3.
2-0.
Yeah. All right, I got one more.
All right.
Who did Shane McMahon face in his first match? Ever.
Ooh. His first match ever? Oh,
Yep.
damn. Oh. See, I feel like this is a trick one because I was just getting through this stuff. I don't want to say X-Pac because I feel like Vince did something to where, you know what? X-Pac.
I had a feeling you were going to say that. It was Mankind. Mankind was his first match ever.
Never would have guessed Mankind.
The only reason I knew that was because it popped up on my Twitter today.
Nice.
It popped up on my Twitter today. I said, that's a good question for later. So Mankind was Shane McMahon's. I would have said X-Pac. If somebody asked me that question, I'd probably say, it was X-Pac for the European title.
I was either thinking X-Pac or the Big Boss Man. Only because he was with Vince during Shane, before Shane went with Vince, So that's where I was going.
Yeah.
Damn, that's good. That was a good question. I like that.
I said he's going to say X-Pac. That's going to be I knew it was going to be X-Pac, but
damn,
curveball, Mankind.
That is my first incorrect question. Oh no.
Yeah.
All right. So my last question, being that we're talking about King of the Ring, name the 3 wrestlers Kurt Angle faced at the 2001 King of the Ring.
Oh, the 3, right? What year?
2001.
2003? Oh, 2001.
2001.
Shane. Shane's one of them.
Shane is one of them.
RVD? No. No, I don't think it was RVD. That was Brock, wasn't it?
That was 2002. RVD wasn't in the company yet.
Yeah, that's right. Jeez. You know what? I only remember the Shane one, but because of that crazy spot with the glass and he hit his head on the concrete.
Yeah.
It was a Test? Was Test one of them?
Who won? Who won King of the Ring that year?
Oh, wait a minute. It was Billy Gunn? Was that the year Billy Gunn won?
No. Billy Gunn won 99.
Oh, man. I'm really failing at this one. 01. Who the heck?
That should have been my question.
I know. I wouldn't have gotten it. I cannot think who even won in 01. Oh, well, Kurt won, didn't he?
He won 2000.
Oh man. I tap out on this one. I might be tapping out. What?
Let me know if you tap out.
I can't. I don't know why I can't remember a one. Yeah. Right when you tell me, right when you say it, I'm gonna remember, and it's gonna annoy me.
You want me to?
Yeah, I tap out. I don't know.
They were actually a tag team, even though they were in single matches. They were a tag team.
Oh, was it Edge and Christian?
For the benefit of those in Flash Photography.
Damn it!
That's the
See, that's why I
Edge
didn't
one.
remember. That's why I didn't remember because it was a tag team.
I wouldn't have gotten Christian. I wouldn't have remembered Christian. I was doing research. I was looking it up, and Christian was the semifinal match.
I could have sat here all night. I wouldn't have said Edge and Christian. Really, I don't know. Wow. All right. Who were the other three? It was Shane.
No, it was Shane. It was Christian, and then it was Edge.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Christian was the first match. It was the semifinal match, and from what I remember, I think Christian was about to win the match, but then Shane came out.
Yeah.
Speared Christian and put Kurt Angle over him. So Angle had another match to wrestle.
Wow. And I'm a big Edge and Christian fan, and I completely forgot they won King of the Ring in 2001. Wow. All right. Kurt won in 2000, really?
Kurt won in 2000. Edge won in 2001. And then Brock won in 2002. And then they stopped having that as pay-per-views.
Yeah.
Terrible decision.
Well, they're having their own pay-per-view now.
In Saudi.
I know.
Have it here.
Yeah.
I
agree.
You know what? You want to have more shows across the pond? King and Queen of the Ring is the perfect one to do that for. That's the perfect one to have overseas.
No, I agree.
Go back to London with that.
I hope they go back to London just for any pay-per-view at this point.
Yeah. Do Clash at the Castle and then do King of the Ring over there.
Yeah.
You're telling me I could watch, especially now that you're doing them on Saturdays? You're telling me I could watch a wrestling pay-per-view Saturday at 2:00 and then it's over by 7 and I still have the rest of my night?
Yeah.
Sign me up, Triple H.
Yeah, sign me up too. That sounds good to me.
So we both went 2-1 in trivia. I'm 5-1. You were 3-3, and I like it. It's giving me more things to watch now, and thinking of different questions to ask. So
some of these questions I pull off of Twitter because it's just popped up. So there you go.
That's great. I'm gonna start following the same accounts you're following, so I could.
This new For You page on Twitter. Sometimes I scroll through it, and it's just wrestling stuff pops up, and it's like, okay, I don't even follow them. But all right, yeah,
I get some of that too. Well, this was a great show. We talked about a lot. AEW as a pay-per-view Saturday. WrestleMania is right around the corner. Cody's coming to SmackDown. We had a great wrestling trivia segment. So right now that's it, guys. We appreciate the watches, the downloads, the subscribes, the likes. Keep it up, and we will see you next week.
See you later, guys.